Hi, I'm Paul Huddlestone, also known as Sooty on various home automation forums, and this is the first in a series of short videos introducing the RFXCOM plugin for HS3. Now the videos are primarily aimed at new users, although some of the more advanced users out there might find something useful in there. Now before we get started, I need to point out that this initial release of the plugin doesn't support X10 receive functions, nor does it support transmitters or RFXIO devices. So it's receivers only for input devices, virtual devices and security sensors. Now the plugin is actively being developed, and support for X10 transmitters and RFXIO will be along in a future version, hopefully in the next 4 to 6 weeks. So what I'm going to do in the first video is look at getting the plugin downloaded from the HomeSeer updater, getting it installed and adding one or more receivers. So we need to go to plugins and manage. On my system you can see that the plugin is already installed here, but to get hold of it I click additional interfaces, update the listing, and then the plugin's located in hardware interface plugins. It's just a case of clicking on the install tab there and download and install. Okay, now once the installation procedure is finished, the plugin will be set up here in the list of installed plugins, and we need to enable it. And then we'll have a new set of menu items for the plugin up here. So first of all we'll have a look at the general tab, and this is general configuration settings for the plugin. First item here is debug level, normally left at 0 or off. Unless you're experiencing problems with something, you could set level 1, or for more detailed logs, level 2. The next 4 checkboxes work in conjunction with the debug level. So for example, you can turn on or off various plugin messages, and what this does is reduces clutter in the log, which might help you to find a particular item if you're trying to track down an issue. Okay, language, self-explanatory, just select the language that you want the plugin to work with. Hide battery sensors dynamically. Now if you've got battery sensors configured either as input devices or security devices, then these will be hidden. If this item's checked, these will be automatically hidden in the HomeSeer main device view unless they're displaying a low battery condition. This is dependent on the show hide devices option being toggled in HomeSeer also. Okay, use metric system. Most European users will have this item checked, and what it does is sets the plugin up to use a metric system as opposed to English Imperial. So for example, it would use degrees Celsius instead of degrees Fahrenheit. Auto update RFX meter overrun. If you've got an RFX meter device, you'll know that the counter in there eventually reaches a maximum value and then rolls over and begins counting again from 0. Now if you select this option, what it does is allows the plugin to continue accumulating the value received from that device. So as it rolls over, the plugin automatically adds a calibration value to that device to allow it to continue counting. Okay, now to notify my Android. This is a new feature in the HS3 version. So if you use the NMA service, you can enter your key here and then choose the types of plugin messages that you want sent to the service. That about covers the general configuration. So next we'll have a look at adding receivers. Now if you have the older type of USB or RFX LAN receivers, then you configure those in receivers. If you've got the newer type of RFX TRX or RFX receivers, then they're configured in here. So we'll have a look at receivers first, and as you can see I've got 2 receivers configured on my system. The first one is an older USB unit, currently working on COM port 4, and this has a 433 MHz master receiver and an 868 MHz slave receiver for the Sonic devices installed. And across here we select the various protocols that we want enabled in that particular receiver. If you hold the mouse over a protocol option there, it gives a tooltip with a bit better description of what the protocol is. Now, the second receiver on my system is again an older unit, an RFX LAN device with direct TCP/IP connection. So we're providing the IP address and port number there, and again selecting the protocols that want enabled in that device. Now, my Visonic slave receiver in the RFX LAN does support RSSI for Visonic receivers, so I've got that option checked there. Now, if your receiver doesn't support RSSI, which some of the older ones don't, and there's no harm in having this checked, the information just won't be displayed. So once you've set up receivers here or made any changes, etc., you need to disable and re-enable the plugin for these changes to take effect. So we'll have a look at the RFX TRX devices. They will be configured here for the newer types of receivers. So again, you select the type of device that we're configuring here. We choose the communication method, COM port, network, etc., IP address and port number if necessary, and then again enabling whichever protocols we want to use with that particular device. Now you'll notice on the newer receivers there are a lot more protocols supported than in the older units. Again, once you've finished adding receivers, etc., here, you need to disable and re-enable the plugin for those settings to take effect. So that's about it for getting the plugin downloaded, installed, and receivers functioning. So in the next video we'll have a look at input devices. But for the time being, thanks for watching.